Hi, this is Darren Hollander with Orlando Chiropractic, and today we're going to be talking about sleeping postures. The first sleeping posture that we're going to discuss here, really the textbook way to sleep is to sleep on your back. One culprit to this is the extension that's happening in the lumbar spine. So to avoid that extension, which could be tractioning your spine all night while you're sleeping, we will have you support your legs with a pillow. So one pillow underneath the knees here is going to take out the extension in the low back. And Brandon, you let me know. Can you already feel a difference here, just having that little piece of pillow underneath your legs? Do you feel like it's more relaxed in the lumbar spine? Now, if you don't like it underneath your knees, bring it underneath your ankles. Does the same thing. Again, we've taken out that extension, which even though, you know, in a textbook anatomical spine, we do have this extension, this reverse curve going on, we don't necessarily want this when we're sleeping. This extension is forcing these facet joints to rub together. This can cause what we call imbrication. It can cause local inflammation. This is the most common way you're going to get a lumbar spine strain sprain or a facet strain sprain, usually causing localized pain to the low back. So to sleep on your stomach, a few things have to happen. For one thing, you have to turn your head so you can breathe. So already you have this asymmetry happening in your neck. This can be a perpetuating factor for neck pain. But look what's happening to the lumbar spine when we're sleeping on our stomach. Is going into extension in this major way. And so this can be causing that facet imbrication because we're in extension. These facet joints are being, they're rubbing against each other potentially causing traction, inflammation. This is what's probably going to give you a sore back the next day, or worse, it's going to give you what we call an insidious strain sprain, or strain sprain in the absence of trauma. You know, when you hear, I didn't do anything, I just woke up and I'm having all this pain. Well, if you're sleeping like this for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, you could be causing yourself a strain sprain by doing this. Most people don't sleep on their stomach. A lot of people do. We don't recommend it. Most people say, oh, well, I sleep on my side. So let's look at what side sleeping looks like. Look at what's happening to Brandon's pelvis when he's on his side. Now, he just got into this posture, but as you sleep and as you become potentially more comfortable, this pelvis can roll forward, which often happens in side sleepers. What's happened now to the lumbar spine isn't that different than when he was lying on his stomach. So side sleeping and stomach sleeping can be the same thing when it comes to your lumbar spine. So if we get the model out here and we bring the pelvis, if we bring the pelvis flat to the bed, which is what's happening here, the pelvis is rolling towards the bed, the lumbar spine is coming into extension. And it's imbricating the facet joints, causing that insidious strain sprain. This is what is going to cause you that very bad low back pain one morning when you say, I don't know what happened, I just woke up and I'm having all this pain. This is potentially what's going to cause that. You don't have to panic. I'm not going to tell you that you can never sleep on your side again, but we can be a little smarter with our postures. So here, the knees are stacked, and look at what happened to the pelvis in the lumbar spine. It rocked back, and now we have more of a straight back. We're no longer having this pelvis roll forward and bringing the spine into extension, which is great. This is a lot less pressure on the lumbar spine. But what's going to happen is that now there's pressure on the knees, and this is going to be uncomfortable after a short amount of time. Do you notice that? So what we can do to account for that? Pillow in between the knees. So most people think of this as a solution for hip pain, sciatica, which it is. This is preventing the hip from getting tractioned, but it's also preventing the lumbar spine from getting traction, which is super important. So you can do this, you can recreate this. It doesn't have to be, you know, a giant pillow. It can be a small pillow. It can even really be just a piece of blanket. You know, if you just put a piece of blanket in between your knees, you're going to be in good shape. You're not going to be causing that pressure, you know, making the knees uncomfortable. And I'm sure you'll probably agree, Brandon, this isn't too uncomfortable, right? Do you feel like you could sleep like this, right? Yeah, so this is a simple solution to one of the most common perpetuating factors of low back pain that I see as a chiropractor, and this is one of the easiest ways to try and account for that. What we want to do is we really just want one pillow to keep the neck straight. We don't want the neck, I'm just going to lift your head a little bit, we don't want the neck to be flexed here, and we don't want it to be extended the other way. So it's not as important what type of pillow you have. Now here we're using, these are contoured pillows, which I like. So you have this C shape here. You'll have the big part is going to be supporting your neck, the little part is going to be above your head. It's not as important to me what type of pillow you have or what type of mattress you have. It's more important to me as a chiropractor is how you're sleeping, what's your sleeping posture. So we just want the neck straight. If you're using a contour pillow, you want the big portion on the neck itself. But what's happening to the shoulder here is you're having all the weight of the body come down onto this shoulder. Now this can be compressing vasculature in the shoulder. It can also compress the nerves in the shoulder. It's called the brachial plexus. And so we really don't want that shoulder to get crushed. An easy way to help with that, well, the easiest way would be to go onto your back. Now, there's no more, we just took out that variable entirely. There's no more crushing of either shoulder happening, and the neck is straight. So this, again, textbook posture. If we do a leg support underneath the knees or underneath the ankles, we're good to go. But if we have to be on our side, again, we want the knees stacked, some support in between the knees to keep it comfortable, either a pillow or a piece of blanket. But if you're getting shoulder pain or arm pain, try hugging a pillow. And now, instead of all of the weight being crushing onto the other shoulder, some of the weight is being distributed onto the pillow itself. And Brandon, you let us know, does that feel like it's a little bit more evenly supported on the pillow there? See, very scientific. But if you try this at home, you might notice that it really works for you, especially if you're having neck pain and shoulder pain.